Now, in this segment, I want to speak to you about the process of mystery religion. We understand what this is, but how do they operate? If they were to come together, maybe in a congregational setting, and the rituals that they would do, what does that look like? Well, after comparing and contrasting all the different religions of the world, we've boiled it down to just these points. Now, it does not matter if you are an occultist or you're a Hindu, Buddhist, New Ager, Druid, pagan, Sufi, or a Gnostic. They all basically did the same thing and still do the same thing. Matter of fact, you will find, if you look hard enough, that the Knights Templar basically used this same format that we're giving you now. And this is the process by which they achieve their spiritual goals. And I want to give you a 7-point list that will explain all of this to you. So let's break this down for just a moment. The first thing that they would do in a mystery religion setting is they would come together and they would play a mantra. Now, if you'll remember, all of the occult is based on frequency and vibration. Frequency. In Hermeticism and other areas, basically all your witchcraft, all your sorcery, Eastern mysticism as well, everything is a frequency. Everything is a vibration. And if you'll come to understand that, then you really will come to understand all of what magic is. And I didn't understand this for a very long time, but I think I finally got it. They believe that everything operates on a frequency, whether it be health or wealth or fitness or sadness, anything. If you were to attach it to a machine, you could actually read a frequency or a vibration. And the goal of the occult is to basically control the frequencies of your body and really ultimately raise the frequency of your body. They believe that if your body is at a low frequency, you're unhealthy, and if you bring it up, it'll be healthier. They believe that if you're sad, it's a low frequency. You bring it up, you'll be happy. If you are not wealthy, that means that you're operating at a low frequency. You bring it to a high frequency, you'll be wealthy, you'll be rich. And so to them, everything is a frequency, everything is a vibration. And so a mantra is a sound that resonates with certain frequencies and it resonates with certain vibrations. And you're trying to interact with a spirit force. And so this mantra or this sound, this frequency, this vibration creates a response in this energy force. Now, I'm sure that you have probably seen this before, but there are these videos of these Buddhist monks that are sitting with their legs crossed and their hands on their knees, and they're humming a tone that sounds something like Om or something of that nature. That is actually called the Om. It is a tone that hits a certain frequency that they believe God exists in that frequency.
The sound is like a and you can feel the vibration in near. You can put hand here. Yeah. When you touch, you feel it's like an electric spark.
Matter of fact, if we go all the way back to the first Third Atom documentary, there is a purple symbol at the very top, which we have written right here for everybody to see. And that is actually the Hindu symbol for the word Om, which is the God frequency. Another example of this, if you go watch New Age videos on YouTube, you will see that they're using an ambient music that has no meter. I think the best way to describe it is just kind of floaty. And what that's called is free time music. It has no tempo, it has no rhythm, it has no meter. And the reason they're using that is because it is a mantra. It creates a tone and a frequency so that they can go through the process of their mystery religion. And if you go look at Sufi mysticism, their actual services, they are using mantras as well. Same thing with the occult. But if you'll go check and listen to the churches, all of these songs begin with a mantra. It all starts with a hmm. A tone, a frequency. And the reason that they do that is because they are trying to excite an energy force. The same energy force that the occultists work with. And so that's number one. But let me show you number two. Not only do they begin with the mantra, the Om, but they also achieve a hypnotic state. You will see that these people, when they are listening to that music, they actually trance out. A hypnotic state is defined as being detached completely from any outward environment and completely absorbed by an inner experience. What happens is the mantra begins, and that excites this power within them so powerfully that they become completely detached from the outside world altogether. And in some cases, you'll see them sitting on the street corner having an experience, and people can walk right by them and it won't disturb them. They won't even know you're there because something so powerful is happening inside of them that they're completely detached from the outside world. Now, when the Holy Spirit works in people's lives, it makes you sober. It does not cause you to trance out. The working of the Holy Spirit does no such thing like that, not biblically. And the next thing I want you to see is that they achieve this hypnotic state, and in some cases, drug usage is involved. And so what I want to do, I just want to put like an asterisk here just to let you know that that is not always the case with every religion. But I want you to understand that in history, it was very common for practitioners of mystery religion to use a potion or a drink or a brew that would have been created by the yogis, the sages, and the shaman. And oftentimes this brew or this potion would assist the practitioners in this religion in their desire to create a spiritual experience for themselves. And this potion was called many names, like the nectar of the gods, and in India it was actually called the soma, but if you go over to like a Persian culture, it was actually called homa with an H. And the contents of this potion would vary wildly, but it was usually something along the lines that contained like poppy, it would contain cannabis, ephedra, And sometimes it included saffron, which is an aphrodisiac that is raised and grown in the Middle East. There's also evidence that indicates that psilocybin from mushrooms was used in this potion as well. Throughout history, people have practiced mystery religion, and the thing about them that I've always found to be odd was that these people never say that the Bible is not true. They practice mysticism or magic or whatever, and then they look at the miracles of the Bible and they say, well, yeah, we believe that that happened, sure. But the difference is they give the credit to not the Lord. They give the credit to like an experience. We did a ritual, and because we did this ritual, this person was able to do this. Oftentimes they will give credit for like dreams and visions to this mystery religion process that we're speaking about. They'll say like Ezekiel saw his vision because he was doing mushrooms. Moses saw the burning bush in the wilderness because he was on the same drugs that we're on, and we saw the same thing. And that's always interesting to note. And really, if you go back into this mysticism and like these paintings that are done, a lot of people, a lot of mystics throughout history have given credit for these miracles to mushroom trips. I wish I was joking, but this is actual fact. This is what they believe. And of course, the modern day equivalent of this would be LSD or ayahuasca. Now you see all of these movie stars that are going to Costa Rica and they're taking ayahuasca tea and they're seeing things, they're having out-of-body experiences. That is a modern version of mystery religion. You see guys like Joe Rogan doing this, LeBron James, you see Megan Fox. Many of your movie stars are a part of this. Why? Because they are practicing mystery religion, and this is how this works. You begin with a mantra, you achieve a hypnotic state, and in some cases, not in every instance, but in some cases, drug usage is involved. I believe in the book of Revelation when it refers to people that would not stop their sorceries, that it is referring to something along these lines. The mystery religion, in many cases, requires the usage of a substance to achieve the spiritual high that they so desire. And so once the mantra and the hypnotic state is achieved, sometimes through drug usage, what happens next is fascinating. What happens next is that the body experiences an energy release. And I would say that these three things together right here probably all happen at the same time. The body experiences an energy release. Gnosis is what's experienced, and gnosis, of course, is heaven coming down and being caught between, as the song so aptly puts it. And let's just say this is the bubble that they live in. And up here you have what we would call the spirit world. And so what you want to do is you want the spirit world to come down. And what happens is when the spirit world comes down and overlaps, if you will, with the physical world, you have something called gnosis that takes place. You step into the spirit realm at that point. You cannot tell what's physical and what's spiritual. You have crossed the line. You have gone into the third realm. And then also, because of these things, a higher consciousness is obtained. These three things together will result in these three things here. Now, this is the goal of mystery religion, for you to have a spiritual experience. And without the mantra and without the hypnotic state, and in some cases without the drug usage, you cannot accomplish this goal.
And as such, you will find there's something that is always present, along with the music, an abundance of flashing lights all over the place, multicolored shapes, symbols. I want to expound on a principle here. I'm going to talk to you about something called brainwave entrainment. Any practice that aims to cause brainwave frequencies to fall into step with periodic stimulus having a frequency corresponding to the intended brain state. Brainwave entrainment, again, further defining the term, refers to the brain's electrical response to rhythmic sensory stimulation such as pulses of sound or light. Got that? Sound and light. All right, audio visual entrainment. A subset of brainwave entrainment uses flashes of lights and pulses of tones to guide the brain into various states of brainwave activity. Enthusiasts of brainwave entrainment claim it has been noted or used in one form or another for centuries, long before the invention of EEG equipment, from shamanistic societies, use of drum beats, to Ptolemy noting in 200 AD the effects of flickering sunlight generated. And it continues in the discussion, when the brain is presented with a rhythmic stimulus such as a drum beat, for example, the rhythm is reproduced in the brain in the form of these electrical impulses. If the rhythm becomes fast and consistent enough, it can start to resemble the natural internal rhythms of the brain called brain waves. When this happens, the brain responds by synchronizing its own electrical cycles to the same rhythm. Got that? To the same rhythm. This is commonly called the frequency following response. They've already manipulated the people's minds. That's what the music is doing. It's creating the following response. I'm going to show you. You see all the flashing lights all over the place. Look at that. All over the place. Okay. Let's bring this ahead a bit. Look at that. Okay, I'm just going to mute the sound, enough of that. Just look. Look at that blatantly demonic display. That is blatant mind manipulation. You notice this? Look at... Talk about more blatant demonic symbology. Look at the pyramids. Oh yeah, I'm sure they say this is their hills or something. Yeah. I mean, anybody who knows anything about satanic imagery, pyramids are all over everything. Goes way back to Egyptian satanic religion, and then on to...
And you see, the difference between mystery religion and Bible-believing Christianity is that mystery religion is based on experience, but Bible-believing Christianity is based on truth. Now, I want you to look at this last point with me for a moment, and I want you to really get this because this is so very important. When a person has achieved the gnosis, when a person has done these rituals and gone through this, if you were to look at them from the outside in and say that person is having a spiritual mystery religion experience, what would that look like? Well, I want to show you a couple things here. All of this experience here results in a couple things. It can result in kriyas. Now, kriyas, of course, are where the body shakes uncontrollably. You will see people that are practicing Buddhism that their spine will start to kind of go in a wave-like motion and their body will start just absolutely just shaking or convulsing. That is what happens when these people cross that threshold and achieve the gnosis through this process. Another thing that happens is that they will experience dancing. Their body will begin to move, expresses itself in a dancing-like motion. The next thing I want you to see is that this always results in a euphoric emotional experience. These people will be crying. They will be exceedingly happy. Whatever it is, it does not cause you to be calm. It causes some sort of emotional upheaval. And this is why people are so addicted to it, because it makes you feel something amazing that you cannot feel without this religion. It sends you to heights unknown that you never thought were possible. Heights of happiness, heights of joy, heights of even physical pleasure in some senses. This is what it does. It takes you somewhere that you could not go on your own. And so the euphoric emotion is a very strong part of this. The next thing I want you to see is that it results in mudras, where you see people that are wizards and sorcerers, and they're moving their hands in such a way that they're casting powers. Or even Dragon Ball Z, you'll see somebody who is using their hands to throw a fireball to somebody. That, in a sense, is a mudra. Remember, this is a spirit that you can invoke and you can control it. You can make it do whatever you want it to do. And so by moving your hands a certain way and by doing these movements, you can actually push this spirit energy into something. One example of that is martial arts. You see these people that are doing these things with their hands where they're waving their arms in such a way. Well, that's not necessarily, they're not engaged in a fight at the time, so they're not blocking and defending, but they're moving their arms and moving their hands in a certain way. What are they doing? They are harnessing the chi or the ki energy. And by the way, remember, this has multiple different names, but it's ultimately the same thing. They're harnessing the ki energy, and then when they punch, or they hit you with the palm of their hand, or they kick you, they're putting all that energy into their hand or into their palm, and they're hitting you with that energy force, because this is a part of mystery religion. And meditation, if you'll understand that, is a requirement to achieve the hypnotic state so that you can learn how to practice this mystery religion and harness this energy. Another thing that I want you to see is not only does it have mudras, but tongues is actually very common in these circles.
We receive words that are not our own. Berekesto, oleman gelemahandelege, bo fredino unkindashe.
O'Shea, tot caribisa bos fonte le mosore che sacre mesmanso coscinan e somoten la mahon bi ala kasu. In ma shakri sedaria.
The last thing I want you to see here, not only do they have tongues, but they have visions. They begin to see things that they have never seen before. Now, in the Third Adam movies, we have oftentimes referred to the Marvel Comics series of movies where people will be practicing mystery religion. And by the way, all the X-Men and all that stuff basically is a form of mystery religion just being put in a, like a really cool package to attract young people. Basically what it is occultism with kind of a cool slant to it. But I want you to notice that you have people like Doctor Strange and Black Panther and others that they're having these visions, they're seeing into the future, or they're getting words of wisdom from outside sources. This happens oftentimes in these religions, but in churches today you have people that are astral projecting, people that are going to the courts of heaven. You have people like Paula White claiming that she went to heaven and spoke to the Lord directly. All of this is a result of mystery religion. And by the way, I want you to notice this. The foundation of all of these experiences, I'm going to draw a line right here, is the mantra. Did you know that there are people who get into Hindu temples every week and they go through religious activity and they summon a spirit energy? That spirit energy gives them such a euphoria, such a bliss, such a wonderful experience. If you didn't have any context behind it, you would think that it was a charismatic or contemporary church service, but they're not Christians. These people are Hindus. And if you take an objective look, a third-party look, if you will, and overlay that type of stuff onto the average contemporary service today, you'll find that they behave almost identically.
No, it's just...
The greatest thing you've ever seen in your life.
We will pray for her. Just relax. Freedom right now. Come up enough. Come up enough. Come up enough. Break enough. Freedom. Let her go. Leave her. 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 Come up enough. Come up enough. Come up enough. Come up enough. Come up enough.
Makanya apapun yang kita cari di dunia ini, kita menjadi orang pintar, menjadi orang kaya, ujung-ujungnya adalah kebahagiaan.
रसिक कुंवर गिरिधरन पैया बोलत श्याम मनोहर.
Whoa. Okay. Oh. Oh. Toast him back there. Please.